Making an extra grand a month, it's a goal so many of us have, right? But how do you actually get there? It can feel, I don't know, kind of confusing? Well, what if I told you there's a clear blueprint? Today, we're going to break down something called the side hustle pyramid. It's a step-by-step path to take you from zero to that first $1,000, and honestly, way beyond.
Yeah, that's the big question, isn't it? An extra $1,000 a month. That is a total game changer. Think about it. That could be debt paid off, that trip you've been dreaming of, or just, some breathing room at the end of the month. So let's get into it. We're going to break down exactly how you can make that happen.
So this whole framework, it comes from a guy named Mark Tilbury. And get this, he says this exact pyramid is what took him from being a broke school dropout to becoming a millionaire in his 20s. Crazy, right? He insists it's not about getting lucky. It's all about starting in the right place and building up piece by piece. So let's start where he did, at the very foundation.
All right, here we are. Stage 1, the foundation. This is all about what are called service hustles. And there's a really good reason this is where everyone should start. It's simple, really. It uses the single most important advantage you have when you're just getting off the ground.
So what's a service hustle? Basically, you're just trading a skill you have directly for money. That's it. There's no inventory to buy, no product you have to develop. And this is the big one. You need zero starting cash. Zilch. When Mark Tilbury started, he had nothing. So he did whatever he could, washing cars, mowing lawns. The modern version of that? Well, it's usually digital. And Mark highlights 4 really huge opportunities right now: video editing, graphic design, writing, and coaching. These are all in super high demand, and honestly, it's never been easier to get started. Let's dive into each one and find out the key to making them work.
Okay, video editing. Think of it like this. There are 2 sides to the coin. On one side, you've got the tech stuff, cutting, trimming, adding cool effects. But on the other side, and this is the important one, is storytelling. Can you actually craft a narrative that keeps people glued to the screen? Mark Tilbury even says he'd hire a great storyteller over a technical wizard any day of the week. Why? Because that's where the real value is. Now, for graphic design, the key here is all about mindset. It's not just about making things look pretty. The secret sauce is learning to separate your artistic ego from the work. Look, clients are going to ask for changes you absolutely hate. It's going to happen. But you have to remember, they're the ones paying the bills. This is a business, not your personal art gallery.
All right, writers, listen up, because this one can be a tough pill to swallow. I know the dream is to write the next great novel, the next Harry Potter, but the money is in writing what businesses desperately need right now. We're talking sales pages, email newsletters, social media content. The quickest path to that $1,000 a month isn't a book deal. It's being a go-to writer for online businesses.
Okay, so for any of these services, let's be real. The competition can be pretty fierce. So how do you stand out from the crowd? A professional online presence is absolutely key. But here's the good news. Years ago, that meant shelling out thousands for a website. Not anymore. Today, you can use modern tools, like these AI builders, to whip up a pro-looking portfolio site in minutes. It gives you an instant edge.
All right, you've laid the foundation. Now it's time to climb up to stage 2 of the pyramid, the amplifier. You've got a valuable skill, right? Now it's time to broadcast it. This is where you make that critical switch from working one-on-one to reaching one-to-many.
So, let me ask you something. What's the real difference between you and someone like Mr. Beast? The biggest creator on the planet. Is it his money? His fancy camera gear? His ideas? Nope. It boils down to one single, insanely valuable thing. Attention. That's it. In the world we live in today, attention is currency. It might be the most valuable currency there is. If you can figure out how to capture it, and, more importantly, hold it, you can build a serious, scalable income.
So how do you actually do that? How do you build and monetize attention? Well, there are 3 main ways: affiliate marketing, content curation, and content creation. And here's the really cool part. This isn't starting from scratch. These build directly on the skills you learned in stage 1. That writing skill, that becomes your newsletter. Your graphic design skill, that powers an awesome Instagram page. See how it connects?
Affiliate marketing sounds complicated, but it's not. It's just getting paid to recommend stuff you already use and love. Simple as that. You partner with a brand, they give you a special link, and you get a cut of any sales. Mark Tilbury has made over $100 grand doing this. But, and this is a big but, the key is being authentic. You have to only promote things you genuinely believe in,
or you'll lose your audience's trust in a heartbeat.
And here's the secret. You don't even have to be on camera or create everything from scratch to build an audience. That's where content curation comes in. It's all about becoming the go-to trusted source for a specific topic. You find the best articles, the best videos, the best ideas about, say, finance or fitness, and you share them. You build an audience that trusts your taste, and then you can monetize that trust.
And now we've reached the top of the pyramid, the summit, stage 3, product hustles. This, right here, is where you can truly separate your time from your income. This is the dream. But forget everything you think you know about starting a products business. The rulebook has been totally rewritten.
See, the old way was terrifying. It meant massive risk. Mark Tilbury tells a story about putting every single penny he had, plus taking out bank loans, just to open one physical store. He was petrified it would fail. But the new way? It's digital. You can create a product and sell it to the entire world with barely any startup cost and super low risk. It's a completely different ballgame.
So at this top level, you've got two main options: creating and selling your own digital products or building an e-commerce brand.
I want you to really hear this number. Mark has a friend named Katja who makes $100,000 a month selling digital products. That is insane. And it's possible because you create something one time, like a workout plan, an ebook, or some design templates, and then you can sell it over and over and over again, forever. It is the ultimate money-making machine. Now, when we talk about e-commerce, it's super important to make one thing clear. This is not about dropshipping random, cheap junk from some factory you've never heard of. No, real long-term success comes from building an actual trusted brand. A brand that people love and come back to, not because you have the lowest price, but because they believe in what you're doing.
Okay, so we've climbed the whole pyramid, from the service foundation at the bottom all the way up to the product summit. But you know, a blueprint is just a piece of paper if you don't actually pick up a hammer and start building, which brings us right back to where we started.
That goal, that $1,000 a month, it is completely 100% within your reach. It's not about guessing or getting lucky. There's a clear, logical path. You start with a service to get some cash and learn a skill. Then you use that skill to build an audience. And finally, you create a product to serve that audience. See? Step by step.
So there you have it. The blueprint is right in front of you. The stages are all laid out. The only question left is the most important one. Which block are you going to lay down first?